Hello and welcome back. This is David from the Personal Finance Squad. We just finished up with auto insurance, and now we know that auto insurance itself, along with the car and the maintenance and many other things, make up a pretty big number in the budget. Now we get into the groceries, and the grocery bill in some households can be the largest bill in the budget. So this is why the management of it is very important due to the varying price spikes and the amount of money it just simply costs to feed a family. So what we're going to do here, what we need you to do is, first of all, you're going to use a food calendar. A food calendar is an Excel grid that you go in and you determine what groceries you want. You can do it by meal type, or you can do it as a mixed amount of just all meals when you go to the store. The way we're going to use it is to do it for dinners. So what we need to start off with for you guys for your exercises is to go down here and see the USDA food plan chart. You can see it's April 2016. And the way you need to think of, check that. And the way you need to think about this exercise is that you need to have food for yourself and you need to have food for your son. So this is hypothetical, of course, but your son is 9 years old. So what you need to do is look on the chart for yourself and your son and use the average there. Okay, and then the other piece you need to figure out is that you have your son 50% of the time. So there's a little bit of a calculation for you that you need to think about when you're doing this. And then after that, then you need to have an estimation of what it's going to cost on a monthly basis. Now, the way this is going to be set up is that you would go to the grocery store once a week. So if you look in the chart down here, you're going to see that there are 4 months when there's a fifth week. And that would always be the case because that's just the way the calendar shakes out in any given year. And then you can see that you're going to have two different types of amounts. So of course you're going to have to come up with an average between this that you see here. Of course this is what we took from Jasper's. You'll have to do one for yourself, of course. And then once you figure this part out, then you're going to need to run the 12-month exercise that of course is on the website to determine if you're going to need any added cash to start the exercise. Okay, next we're going to get into another part of this exercise, and that is the grocery store exercise itself. So this is the third piece to this. So what you're going to need to do is first fill out your food calendar, and the way to do that is to think about it again just for dinners. And if you need guidance from an adult in your household or somebody that you know, then they can help you to determine what is in the kitchen. For example, we talk about staples such as milk, butter, herbs and spices. There can be some other ingredients, depending on the meal that you want, that you can use. So what you want to do is figure out on your own, what dinners do you want? And again, you can get guidance for that, but you need to pick 7 dinners. So that lasts, of course, for an entire week. One way you can do that if you just want to really get creative and learn about what goes into making dinners is you can certainly go to the internet and learn how to prepare these meals. So then you're finding recipes. You could say, I'm looking up Sloppy Joe's. For example, you could say stir fry. You could say whatever you want. There are recipes for everything out there. And then you can take that advice on there, and then you can go down here and you start filling out this information down here in the food items list that also will be contained on the site. So you fill out what you need here, and of course we have the have column with the check mark. Again, you can use this very liberally any way you want, but what you really check that. But what you really need to do is just to make sure that you have your dinners listed here, and then really make sure that you have the amount of these items in here. So sometimes someone might get a taco kit, so that would be 1 package. Maybe a TV dinner, of course, is 1 package. Chicken breast, you might buy in a package of 2, or maybe you get a package of 10, and then it lasts you for 3 or check that, and it lasts you for 3 or 4 meals. These are the things you have to start thinking about when you buy the food, but try to keep it as simplistic as possible just to buy the food from scratch as if you don't have it in the kitchen. So again, stick to spices, butter, things like that, and then go out and run the exercise. So while you're in there, what you need to do is you can use an app or you can use the grid that we have given you, and you can figure out what you need. So you're going to have to write down what you're going to need to pay for things. You're going to have to mark it down with a pen and paper, if you will, or with this grid, or if there's an app you want to put something into your phone of that nature. And then add all that up so that you can get a gauge of what it really costs to purchase this food. Now, you have to understand another thing here is that if there's a tax rate for the food, then you need to add that on top of all of it. So if you're at the store and you buy, let's say, 10 things and you have like $1.12, $4, $6, all these things, right? And then let's say you end up with $200 as your total. And then if there's a tax rate, say for 6%, then you got to multiply that by the purchase price, of course, is $12, and then you get your $212. If you don't know if you have a tax rate, just ask an adult, or you can go to this site, MoneyZine, and it'll tell you the tax rate for your state if you have one. So, okay, so that's pretty much going to cover this one here. Of course, if someone wants to pay for these groceries in real time, then you can have a little fun with bringing them home and maybe preparing them. That is up to you. But again, this is a nice exercise. So again, you have to do the food calendar, the food items list, and then you have to track the food items. You're going to actually, how much it would, then you can check that. And then you're going to have to track the food items in terms of what, check that. And then you're going to have to check the food items in terms of what it would cost you to actually purchase the groceries. Okay, so that's going to wrap this up, and we will see you in exercise 7 when we go into FSA. Thanks for joining, and we will see you there.